I was just sick and tired of being poor and broke-minded and hustling and grinding, trying to figure things out, finding a loophole in things. And so I figured there's got to be a better way. When the pain is great enough, you start taking action. The pain was great enough. Like, I knew that I couldn't be a personal trainer in this big box gym for too long. I knew that I had to do something more. And so, again, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I can connect dots. And I figured somehow magically or through some weird law of attraction, Jim Franco was put into my life. But I needed that old dude in my life to set me straight and call me a kid. I needed that tough love.
So talk to me, in that, it reminds me of the story that you've told about the difference between being poor and being broke. Define those two, because I would say by your definition, you weren't poor.
See, when we came to America, we were poor and broke, the way I looked at it, because we would always run out of money before run out of month. We decide, do we do without electricity or gas? Because some months we couldn't afford to pay both. And being broke is being without money. Being poor is being kind of scarcity-minded, poor-minded. And we just realized that money's for the rich. Money's for the Americans. It's for the people who were born here, who went to college. And that's how I grew up. And later, Jim Franco taught me that, hey, you know what? You can't be scarcity-minded. You have to live in abundance. You have to understand that people just want a solution to a problem, and they don't care about the color of your skin, about the level of your education. They want a solution to the problem. So he taught me, he had to break all these old patterns that I had, right?
What were some of the patterns?
Some of the patterns were that money's for the white folk and not for the foreigners.
You actually thought?
Yeah. I really, because that's how it was. Because every time we went and got more food stamps, it was all foreigners. There was no white people in line, at least not in the parts of Santa Ana that I was raised. And so I felt that money was for the people who were telling us to leave this country, go back to your own fucking country. And that also puts a chip on your shoulder, right, against them. And so I guess I had some reverse racism towards white America. Now I realize for no apparent reason. There was a couple of idiots in every culture, I imagine, right? But so that was one pattern that I had. Another pattern that I had was that being proud to be blue collar. Like my dad was like, and he still says this, work is holy. And I believe that work is holy. But the fact that he had so many jobs, a paper route, pumping gas, worked at a pizzeria. And so because of that mindset, blue collar, we were always this blue collar mentality, and I took pride in being blue collar. Another pattern Jim Franco had to break was like, dude, be white collar. Don't use the shovel, sell the shovel. I'd never heard that phrase before. I'm the guy that took pride in, I could dig a deeper hole, a deeper trench, I could outwork you, but that's still trading time for dollars. And so to be able to break those limiting belief systems that I had, to me was huge. And all of a sudden I realized I'm no longer poor-minded. I may end up broke again. I do really well now, but I may make one or two bad decisions with my money or my investment and end up being broke again, but I'll never be poor. And I know how to get back from broke because I know how to add value to society, solve problems in exchange for money. But I'll never be poor again. And poor is a state of mind of feeling out of control, scarcity-minded, taking pride in being blue collar. No one should ever take pride in being blue collar, period. You've got a brain, you've got a solution to a problem that people want to pay for. Put it out there. Like so many people probably come up to you, and I know they come up to me and, I've got this great idea, and one day I'm going to do it. When is that day? And I was that guy. I got this great idea, and one day I'm going to do it. And Jim was like, when is that day, kid? It's like, I'd always tell him, I'm going to open up a gym one day. When is one day? He goes, have you ever put a date to it? Nope. So he has to break that pattern of being a procrastinator, right? So he goes, put a date to it. Oh, that was scary. I go, if I put a date to it, what happens if I fail? He goes, just try not to. Try not, like immediately I go to failure. And it's nuts to have this like entrepreneurial mindset being installed in you when all where you're coming from is poor-minded, broke-minded, and scarcity-minded.
So when you say scarcity-minded, abundant-minded, what do you mean?
Well, a scarcity-minded person says, uh-oh, someone else opened up a gym, across the street from me, they're gonna put me out of business, I better charge less, right? The abundant-minded person says, someone else opened up a gym across the street from me, I better out-service them, outwork them, out-social media them, right? So the scarcity-minded person is always, the sky is falling, the chicken little mentality, the oh my gosh, if Trump goes into office, then we're all screwed. Oh my gosh, if Hillary goes into office, then we're all screwed. I don't care who's in office anymore. I control my own economy. The economy can crash and go back up and back down again. I will find a way. As Tony Robbins says, I'm built for winter. I just didn't know it. And so more people need to be abundant-minded in that if the economy crashes, I just have to deliver more value and create this category of one about myself. If competition shows up, I have to outservice them, outwork them, out-social media them, versus shrivel up and die. Because it blows me away when immigrants come to this country and then they go to Little Italy, Little Armenia, Little Saigon. Get the fuck out of Little Saigon. Go to Little White America, learn the language, assimilate, understand the culture, like blend into the fucking fiber of this country, because when you do, life becomes increasingly easier. It's when they come and handicap themselves and they stay in their own culture. They're in the United States. I mean, there's literally Little Armenia in Glendale. Don't go there. And I might get hate email about that. I love the culture. I'm just not going to go grow up there because economy is done outside of that culture. It's done in this culture. And so thing number one is put yourself in a position where you're going to thrive, not where it's going to be comfortable, right? Number two is most immigrants will come here and they'll think blue collar. How am I going to trade time for dollars? And so job number one, job number two, job number three, get minimum sleep. My argument is, how quickly can you think of a service, a product, a business model that you can deploy in exchange for money, right? How can you leverage yourself? And I wish I understood the concept of leveraging and scaling my knowledge. I didn't know that until my late 20s and early 30s. Like my kids know that now. One's 10, one's 12 years old. Like I didn't understand leverage and scale. And so I teach them leverage and scale. More people should be hard on themselves. We go around bubble wrapping ourselves, right? We leave the training wheels on for too long. Like be hard on yourself. Take the fucking bubble wrap off. Take the training wheels off. No one did that for me, man. And we came to this country and it was just like, hey, go figure it out. But it was don't take risks, to go get a good job. Fuck that. Be a fighter jet. Be a fighter jet. Go to battle every day. Take risks. That's what a fighter jet does. A crop duster has a routine life and it's fucking boring. Learning process of being a fighter jet continues. Like there's different levels of fighter jets, right? And so very quickly, I realized that when you say it's time to man up, it really is stop making excuses, take control of your situation and rise to your potential. And I knew I had this potential to build a big brand, a franchise where I can help millions of people every morning worldwide. And it feels so good to wake up and do that today. But for this to happen, I had to become an effective leader. I had to get self-disciplined first, stop being a hypocrite. I had to learn to communicate and give feedback and not feel like I need their approval or that they're going to accept it as criticism. I had to have clarity of vision. Where is my business going? How many locations do I want and by when and how are we going to get there? I didn't have that. Today we're super clear on that. We know exactly how many locations we need to gain every day to hit our goal of 2,500 locations by the year 2023. I never had that. And so then of course I was so emotionally reactive. Something would happen and I would just emotionally react. Today I just think, process and respond.
What do you think is the reason that any of us are here?
Man, I don't think that we would be here if we didn't have a purpose. I can tell you that. I truly...
A purpose that's given to us, or?
Nah, it's our job to develop that purpose. It's our job to find and hone in and craft that purpose. And the purpose is usually crafted through some level of suffering. It's the hero's journey, right? Like in film. You know, the hero, he's down and out and he loses the girl in the house and he goes on this journey and he finds strength and wisdom and knowledge and comes back and is now the hero. We have to go through that level of suffering. Like for me, everything that happened from being molested to literally one day eating caviar for breakfast, because my dad was a member of the Communist Party, the next day starving in Italy and wondering why are we sharing one fucking banana for a family of 5? What the fuck is going on? And so there's this hunger that everyone has. And it's always neutered by family, by teachers, by culture. And I believe you wouldn't be put on this planet if you didn't have this hunger. And if you explore this hunger, and for me it was then being a fat kid, then being a foreigner, and then a fat kid, and then fixing my problems, and then realizing I have the solution to other people's weight loss problems. For someone else, it might be a financial thing. You know, they fix their financial problems and they realize they can help everyone else's financial problems. But you have to go through the suffering. You have to be hungry enough to deal with the pain and come out the other side with some scars, because scar tissue is infinitely more resilient than regular tissue. But again, it goes back to most people feel like, yeah, I think there's something great in me, but I don't want to explore it. I want to play it safe. I'm going to stay bubble wrapped. I don't want to risk it. But we wouldn't be put on this planet if we didn't have this greater thing to accomplish. Now, some of us are going to be Elon Musk and we're going to shoot a fucking Tesla to the Mars, right? And that's okay. And others are going to create a fitness franchise or a supplement company that actually delivers, you know, great nutrients that help people optimize their performance. Some other people are just going to be really great therapists. They're going to keep, you know, throughout their life, maybe save 10, 12, 15 people from killing themselves. Whatever your purpose is, you've got to develop it. You got to develop it. But you wouldn't be put on this planet if you didn't have it. I'm convinced of that.